We're going to answer this question here. It's taken from VCAR 2018, Northern Hemisphere, Paper 2, Question 1. A region has 4 districts, North, South, East, and West. Farmers from each district attend a conference in 2017. Matrix F 2017 below shows the number of farmers from each of these 4 districts who attended the 2017 conference. So here it is. We had 36 from the North, 20 from the South, 28 from the East, and 16 from the West. What is the order of the matrix? Well, as you can see, I read it as rows, then columns. So I have 4 rows and 1 column. So it's 4 by 1. That's my answer to the first one. Next, how many of these farmers came from either the North or the South? Well, I have 36 from the North plus 20 from the South. So that means I have 56 farmers in total from the North and the South. We keep on going. The table below shows the cost per farmer for each district to attend the 2017 conference. So as you can see, the cost per farmer is $25 for someone from the North, 20 South, 45 East, 35 West. It says, write down a matrix that could be multiplied by matrix F 2017 to give the total cost for all farmers who attended the 2017 conference. So we need to figure out what matrix we could multiply this by in order to figure out the total cost. This is where it's really important for you to consider the order. So let's partition this off for a second. We know that we're going to have to multiply F 2017. We know that the order of F 2017 was 4 by 1. We also know what the order of our answer is going to be because we're just after the total cost. So it's just going to be one number. So it means it's going to be a 1 by 1 matrix. So now we're going to ask ourselves the question, well, what would I have to multiply this by to get a 1 by 1 matrix out? Hopefully you can see that it has to be something on this side. It can't exist on this side because I've already got a 1 here and I want my answer to have that 1 there as well. So I'm going to have to multiply it by, and what it's going to be is a 4 by 1 matrix. So that's what I want because we know that this number has to be the same as that number, and then a 1 and a 1 will make a 1 by 1 matrix. So we're going to have to give a 1 by 4 matrix as our answer. So what is it going to be? So it's going to simply be 25, 20, 45, 35. And it has to be like that. So that right there is going to be our answer. Because we know how matrix multiplication works, you simply multiply the row by the column. So what this will do when we end up multiplying this, if we come up here, we're going to end up saying, all right, 36 times 25, 20 times 20, 28 times 45, and then the last one was 35. This will be by 35. That's what we're going to do, and then add them all up. So you don't have to do this, but if you really want to see how it works, actually you shouldn't do this in the exam, you shouldn't do this. But if you're just like thinking, I still don't quite get how this matrix multiplication works. Let me just come over here for a second. If you're all comfortable with this, you might want to skip ahead a bit. That's a beautiful thing about videos. We've got this, and we're timesing it by our starting one. Remember, the order is important, and our starting one was 36, 20, 28, 16. And remember, the way that this works, we know that we're going to end up with a 1 by 1 matrix. And we know what we do is you multiply the row by the column. Well, there's only 1 row and 1 column here, so what's going to end up happening is we're going to go 25 times 36 plus 20 times 20 plus 45 times 28 plus 35 times 16. So you're going to times each of these and then add them all together to get our answer there. That's what we're doing. And we were able to get this order correct by considering it right here. So that's very important. Okay, last bit. The number of farmers who attended the 2018 conference increased by 25% for each district from the previous year. Complete the product below with a scalar so that the product gives the number of farmers from each district who attended the 2018 conference. First things first, this word scalar here, it just means we need a number. And we need a number such that we see an increase of 25% in the amount of farmers attending the 2018 conference. We need a 25% increase. So in other words, if we come up here, we know that in 2018, we have 25% more than 36, 25% more than 20, 25% more than 28, and 25% more than 16. So what do I have to times 36? Well, what do I have to times all these numbers by to see an increase of 25%? And hopefully you know that it's going to be 1.25. And that's going to be our answer, 1.25. I'm sure most of us will be able to get this because of RFM, but if you're still struggling to understand why we made it 1.25, well, let's just consider something for a second. If I made it 0.25 and times that by 36, what I'm going to end up with is 9, because 25% of 36 is 9. But what we want is to add that 9 onto the 36. So in other words, 36 plus 9 is going to give me my 45. So that represents a 45% increase. Now, to do that in one step, what you do is you go 1.25 times 36. And that gives us our 45 straight away. So that's kind of the thinking behind it. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll see you in the next one.